Hello and welcome to the Community Proud Podcast. We're back at it again. Episode number 9. I'm here with Dustin Allen, of course, our host. Say hello.
What's up?
I guess I'm reviewing him now. No, but we got to sit down with Eddie Sanchez and Jason Glaspie, and we got to see everything they're doing and more. Not only training boxers, but training Eddie. Got a big fight coming up. What is it, 17th?
19th of October.
We're gonna have dates. We're gonna have Instagrams. We're gonna have links to tickets in the description, of course. And man, it was such a good story, such a good, just the comprehension they have of work and struggle and getting to the top, what it takes to fight, quite literally to fight. We get to hear their origin stories, how they got together, their humble beginnings, and we hope you enjoy. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, and like he was saying, they're just constantly on a grind, and it's just so cool to see their story and how they connected and where they both come from. And they really have both similar backgrounds, and like they say in the episode, that's how they're able to succeed at what they're doing right now, because they're just so similar. And so with that, we really hope you enjoy this episode. And here it is, episode 9 of the Community Proud Podcast. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're here. Eddie Sanchez, Coach Jason Glaspie. How are you guys doing today?
Excellent, man. We're getting prepared for this fight, and we're just pushing it every day.
That's right. Getting ready, putting in the rounds, putting in the sparring, mental focus, preparation, getting ready for war.
I like you guys.
Absolutely, yep.
I like it a lot. So, like I told you guys earlier, just so the audience knows as well, what we're gonna do is take you guys through the backstory of both y'all, like where you guys came from, how you guys grew up, and then we're gonna see how you guys got together and like collaborated and started working together. Then you'll take us on the journey that you guys are on right now, and then we'll end it off with like life lesson stuff, like giving back to the audience, like if they were in your position, what should they do? So. We'll start with Eddie.
Okay.
Where were you born? What was life like growing up wherever you're from?
See, where I'm from, man, I'm from a small village. I think I could call it a village in Guerrero, Mexico. Galeana, to be exact. 1992, June. But anyways, yeah, man, growing up, man, it was just a humbling beginning, man, because, from living in a mud home and being limited to a lot of things, we just lived off of what we grew at home, as far as like farm animals and then food, wherever we put out. But it was a very humbling beginning. But I was real young, so I didn't really took any notice. To me, everything was just fun,
Yeah.
But then after that, my family decided to migrate this way to the United States to give us a better future, man, and I believe it was one of the best things that ever happened, because I was able to do a lot of the things that if it wasn't for those moves, I wouldn't be here today.
Yeah. So what did your parents teach you during those times of traveling here to the U.S.?
More specifically, my mother. My parents split up when I was very young, but my mother taught me a lot, man. Just to keep pushing and keep pushing to what you want to, do. To never give up. Her being a single mother at one point with 4 children, it was a tough time for her, having to take care of all of us, But fortunately, I had a good sense in my mind to do good, and I would never cause her no headaches or anything. I always try to do the best. I try to be the best son I could be. But she always, she would work in the fields all day, and then at night she would work at a restaurant, so they can give her some food at the end, just so she can bring us home some food, man. So. Yeah, like I said, man, my whole growing up, coming up, was very humbling for me, and it's made me the man I am today.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what was it like? Well, you said you have brothers and sisters, right?
Yeah, I do. I got a brother and I got 2 sisters.
Okay, are you like the oldest? The
I'm the second oldest.
Okay.
I have an older sister, and it's me, then my brother and my little sister. So they're already like 20. My brother's 20 something, and pretty real up there.
So did you have to like start taking charge like at an early age, kind of help around the house?
Yeah, man. When my parents split up when I was like 11 years old, and you know, ever since, like, I was given the torch of, like, you're the man of the house. And I took it serious. I took it to heart. You know, I worked I stopped going to school, man. I stopped going to school when I was, like, I missed 8th grade in my freshman year of high school. And I worked in the fields full time. I had to help my mom pay the bills. I had to help her, you know, with everything that was going on to you know, keep us all alive, basically. And, you know, they all looked at me like a father figure, including my older sister. She tells me to this day, it's like, man, I feel like, you know, you are our father, you know.
I was gonna just say that. You take control like you're the oldest.
Yeah, that's I've been told that, you know. So, you know, my brothers, you know, what can I say? It's just life has taught me to do, you know, to keep pushing, you know, no matter what the struggles are in life. And show a better side of yourself, because I know a lot of people don't really know that story of me, but you know, it's made me a better person.
Yeah, for sure, man. So what about you, Coach? Where are you from? And what was life like?
I'm a country boy. You looking at it, man. Right here in the country, man. A lot, eerily similar. A lot of the same stuff that he said. We were hundreds of miles away from each other and years apart, but a lot of the country living off of livestock, and you know, a lot of, you know, growing and gardening, and once again from a single parent home. You know, my father was around, but he was doing his thing. But we're gonna leave that alone. But in any rate, you know, just coming up out here, you know, Lemoore country it's the Central Valley. It's gritty, and you know, boxing was always a love that I had. You know, back in them days, we didn't have really as many opportunities for it, so we kind of started doing it on our own. We started, you know, doing the old Kimbo Slice type thing, doing it in the backyards, whatever we could, just to, you know, get a feel of that combat, and you know, that's where we are now.
Did you have any brothers and sisters growing up? You did that Kimbo Slice stuff with?
Yes, brothers. I'm the youngest. A lot of big brothers, like 4 big brothers, 3 older sisters. A lot of this growing up. Yeah. You should see my brother.
Yeah, I've seen him. He's not joking about that.
So I learned quick, you know, how you have to learn how to defend yourself at home before I even stepped out the door. So, you know, this is woven into me. You know, boxing, fighting, you know, just this whole combat thing. You know, we love it.
Not even like boxing, but like fighting for your life at home.
Right.
Yeah, we did it all, man. Actually, all my brothers was really athletic. You know, 2 of them were soldiers, football players. I mean, wrestling, everything that had to do with combat. That was our family. And I was the youngest, so I took some of the blunt of the trauma. But you know what? It shaped me up well. You know, it put me in good standing to do what I'm doing today.
For sure.
Yeah.
So how does that kind of translate to what you're coaching with Eddie now?
Well, you know, I'm also a boxing historian. So, you know, I studied the great fighters of yesteryear. You know, people thought I was crazy. I was watching and studying fighters who had probably died 20 years before I was born. You know, and, you know, all of that, it just, you know, it's like a library up here, you know, and, you know, I kind of got, you know, to the point where, you know, I wanted to compete, you know, but then I wanted to give back. And I figured at the age I was at, the best thing to do would be to start me a club, get my own fighters, and go from there. And that's when I met this young man, Eddie Sanchez. He was just over 16 years old when he walked into my gym. And like they say, the rest is history.
History?
Yeah.
Sure. So what kind of journey has that been so far?
Yeah, man, I mean, it's just like how he mentions, we both kind of had a similar upbringing, which is why I feel like we connect so well from the beginning. You know, we've always connected, and because we also relate, I feel like I like to compare boxing as life, because life's it's a battle, it's a fight, man, and you know,
right.
what worse than when life hits you, man? A punch is not even compared to that. So yeah, I mean, we both had the same upbringing, so I think that's where we clicked a lot, man. And you know, I've always been a person that I want to get better, so I listen to a lot to what he tells me. I trust in him, and he has brought me up this far, so far, and I believe we got so much more to reach still, to accomplish still.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
So before like each fight, obviously you have like a little bit of like a window, usually good, seems like a good window of time to prepare for each fight.
Most times, yeah.
What's like that training process? Like I know it's probably a lot up here and
Yeah,
also in
absolutely.
the physical game as well.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's a lot, physically, the physical part of boxing is tough already, man. Like for example, I run Monday, Wednesday, Fridays 5 miles, and on the weekends I like to go up to Rocky Hill and I run 10 miles out there. And so the physical part of it is tough, man. You gotta push yourself, your body to the limit to where you haven't experienced before, because you need that, because when you're in the fight, it's gonna require all that. But the mental aspect of it is even, we like to say boxing is 80% mental, 20% physical. So if you imagine how the physical part is tough, the mental part got to be even that greater, man. So it's just mentally
80% greater.
We really got to be so just focused and believe in ourselves. I believe in him, he believes in me, and with the faith of God, we know that we can accomplish a lot of things.
For sure.
And like you were saying too, the belief factor.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing in boxing, and I'm sure in any other fight sport, like belief. Now you can have a guy with 40% of the skills, but if he got 90% of belief in himself, it's gonna be hard to deal with. So when you're able to put it all together and get a guy who has outstanding skills, fast hands, fast feet, the ability, toughness, and then we have that belief, it makes a really, really good package, and we 100% believe.
Absolutely.
We believe. I'm gonna say even go a step further. We know.
We know.
We know.
For
we
sure.
know. Because when you believe, sometimes you still need proof.
Yeah.
We don't need any more proof. We've proven, so we know. We know.
That's awesome. What does it take now for yourself, but also do you have to go to an extent to study your opponent sometimes?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but that's his
That's
department.
my job. Yeah, I love it. Like I said, I studied guys when they were in the grave. So to have a live guy in front of us that we're gonna face, get to watch him and break him down, I think there's nothing more than a coach who really loves this game. That's what he loves to do. Figure out how to take this guy apart. And we've gone on runs for 3 years without a loss. So we've proven that what we do is successful.
Yep.
And we're gonna keep on. We're gonna keep pushing.
For sure. Now I want to get back a little bit to a little bit more family life, but the family that you have now, like kids, a wife. So let's start with you. What has boxing, I know you have younger kids as well.
Yeah.
But has boxing, the game of boxing, helped you translate any thing you can teach to your children?
I mean, it's just the same thing as far as to never, to believe in your dreams and to keep pushing. Although I'm not near as where I want to be at, I feel so for what I've accomplished in life in boxing, it's far than what I used to think I could. If you would ask me, you were gonna be a 5-time amateur champion or a professional boxer at that, 15 years ago, I would have been like, man, that's crazy. I wouldn't have believed it, but here I am.
Yeah.
So I mean, as far as that, I think it's a motivation for my children one day to look up and see that hey, his dad was able to do something that not that many people get to do. But I'm married. I have a wife, Demi. She's my high school sweetheart. I met her since we're about to be 10 years together. So yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, we have 2 kids. My little boy, little Eddie. That's Eddie Sterling. And then my newborn, which is he's only 2 weeks old, man. Emerson Rowan.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
again,
thank
by the
you.
way.
Thank you, man. These kids, they're like my hugest, my biggest achievements or trophies or whatever you want to call it, man. They're my biggest motivation, and they're the reason why I go keep pushing now. Before it was for my family and for myself, but now that motivation has grown even more now because of them.
Awesome, man. What about you, Coach?
Family man. I got my wife, I got my children, got 3 boys, 2 girls. So we got a big group.
Yeah.
We got a lot in the cheering section.
Yeah.
But you know what? The kids, wife, it's all motivation, man. It's all motivation because there's a whole separate group of entities that's with us when they're not there physically, but spiritually they're always in our minds, they're always in our hearts. A lot of times we be on the road, we be in the motel room, He be over there talking to his, I'm talking to mine.
Yeah.
All right, y'all, you know, good night, this and that. It's all part of it, you know, and it makes the victory more sweeter when we deliver, because we know we've had to sacrifice, we've had to be away from our wives, had to be away from our children. That's probably one of the hardest things, but it's also one of the greatest rewards to be able to pick up that phone or look out in the audience and know, hey, we did it.
Yeah,
we did.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. I think to add a little bit on that part, I agree with that. I couldn't agree more with Coach Jason that, you know, it's so much sacrifice when it comes into like sacrificing the time you spend with your family, man. Like, you know, I have a full-time job as well, so it's I wake up at 6 in the morning and I have my job, but at the same time, at my lunch break, I do my running. Or when I get home, I only have a little bit of time to shower and eat, see my kids for a little bit. Yeah. I go back to work. I get off of work, and then I come home for a little bit again, have something to eat, give my kids a little bit of time, and then I come over here and train from 6 a.m. to like 8:30. That's my work hours. I call them, and I don't clock out to 8:30. So it's a lot of sacrifice being away from your family, and I'm just blessed to have a wife that supports me after so many years that we've been doing this, and she believes in me 100%. And it's what keeps me going, because one day I want to be able to give them what they deserve.
We will.
And we will.
Give them what they deserve.
Exactly. Amen to that. Amen.
That's right. We will. What did we say?
It's mental.
It's mental. Yeah. You have to have that focal point, focus on it, and die before you get there. You see what I mean? Don't let anything but death be the thing that'll stop you. We will not quit until we accomplish our goals. And then when we accomplish 100%. Our goals, I'll come up with some new shit that I want.
There you go. Yeah. Till then, we got to do this.
So we're gonna keep pushing.
Absolutely. I love that.
Damn, so you guys are like literally just constantly grinding. Like you go from job to, all right, wife and kids, I'll see you later. I'm going to go box now. It's crazy, man.
Same thing here. We've been doing it.
Sucks seeing them cry, say, daddy. But you know what, man? I say, son, it'll be one day. One day I'll be able to stay home, man. For now, I gotta grind.
It's for them. Sure. It's for them.
Yeah. That's like you guys have cool stories, man.
Thank you, man. I'm happy.
Yeah. And it's really cool to see like people like yourself just grinding.
Well, look, see that? Come on and get it, man. See this is how it starts. Right? Yeah. But I'll tell you, I want to go back a little bit to our beginning. Now, you look around. We got a nice, pretty gym, big ring, $10,000 boxing ring. We didn't have any of that. When we started, we didn't have a ring. We barely had a place to be indoors. Yeah. We hit the bags, the stuff would rain out of the roofs, the ceiling would come down slightly. Yeah. And I mean, you know what? We come a long way. Yeah, we've come a long way. And we really, when we look back on our journey, we know to keep going, because look how far we came. You see what I'm saying? Man, yeah. So it's a beautiful thing, and I'm really trying to hold it together and not start talking junk about the 19th, because on the 19th, I'm gonna let you handle it. Go ahead.
No, I'm saving that. That'll be for the end.
You know, I got that. I'm ready to just. Oh, guess what? He gonna do this and do that. But we'll wait. We'll stay in order.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so let me think real quick. Okay, so you even have your own little place now that you go and teach kids, right?
No, that was just like a little thing that we were having in Corcoran for a while, but it just didn't work out. So, but for a while I was helping out a little bit. But you know, unfortunately, it's just that my boxing, my career, and no disrespect to anybody out there, is my career right now is a little bit more important. So I need to focus, and I need all the time to myself. I think I can't really split the time. You know, it'll be too hard. Yeah. I wouldn't be going fair to them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, it was a little bit thing that happened for a little bit, but not no more.
Is that something that you would like want to do in the future?
I never thought about it, but yeah, possibly. One thing for sure, I definitely would like to bring a gym out there in the future in Corcoran. Yes.
Yeah, of course. I remember when I was doing this for that small sliver of time. I mean, you were like, obviously you're the coach, but you were over there like helping me out if I had any questions as well.
Right.
I've always been there. You know, I like to help out people, man, because you know, I just feel like that's how you grow as a team. So I definitely always look out to help out anybody if I see them throw a jab wrong. I mean, I learned it from him, so I know he don't mind me helping him out a little bit. So I try
from the same stream.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure. That's awesome. So now I want to transition a little bit to giving it back to the people a little bit. There. Hey, how are we doing on time? We're like 15 minutes in?
Yeah.
Oh man, that was quick.
Yeah.
Okay. Like 20? Okay, cool. So I want to give it back to the people a little bit. Obviously, there's boxes all around us right here, but there's also some that may be watching right now. Could you give them a little bit of advice of if they're just starting out that they want to take it to the next level like you two are someday?
You want me to do it?
Well, I'll add mine, and the most important thing, in the beginning stages, is don't quit, because you're gonna have a tough fight, you're gonna have a tough sparring match, you may even have a tough coach on your ass, and you'll want to leave. But you know what? There's an old saying: don't leave before the miracle can happen. Any and everybody can learn at all skill levels, but the thing is, you have to give yourself time. You can't look at the guy across the gym and see him progressing faster and think, oh man, I'm not doing good. Look how far along he is. What you have to do is just figure out that this is a sport of determination and time. You just have to be determined, put the time in, and if it's something you really want to do, which it is not for everybody, we know that. We see a lot of people. But it's just about being dedicated, listening to your team and your people around you, and just don't quit. That's it. I believe when we got to meet the great Mike Tyson one time, and I believe that's some advice. We asked, is there anything you can tell him? Keep winning and don't give up.
Yeah.
That's it. So it's really short and sweet, but it's real.
It's 100.
It's real.
And then I'll add to that too is that like my idol, my father that always made me push in this sport, Floyd Mayweather, hard work, dedication, prayers, and belief in a good team. I mean that's the secret to me. That's the recipe, whatever you want to call it.
The formula.
The formula. You gotta work hard, man, and results will show, man. When you work hard and you dedicate yourself to what you want to do in life, and any part of this boxing or whatever you want to do in life, you just gotta dedicate yourself and keep pushing. Even on like he says, on your ups and downs, you have to keep pushing. You gotta believe in yourself and just gotta keep grinding.
So. Very good. That was very good.
Thank you.
Another question I want to ask is, what is collectively both of y'all put together like the biggest failure that you guys have had, and how did you guys overcome that? And it could be two different ones. I'm thinking of the same one. It's totally all right.
Well, I would say, in my rare estimation, in my modest, opinion, what I would say for me would be, I would say when we made our transition from amateur to pro, I just feel like we got a little impatient, took a couple of fights that maybe we shouldn't have, and then we ended up, tarnishing our record, so to speak, but I don't look at it as a tarnishment. Some of the greatest fighters who've ever fought got losses, so there's no defeat in that. And it wasn't like we took fights that we couldn't win, physically. It was just more harder because of the situation of being in somebody's hometown and, leaving away from our comfort zone where we're more known and more comfortable, and going outside of that right away. It's something that we were gonna do, you have to do, but if, like I would say, to me, that was the one mistake that if I could do over, I would do that over, and I would be more patient. That's in my opinion. No one fight or anything. Any fights that we've lost, I never looked at it as a failure. I just looked at it as a learning process, because I knew within a week of training him that he had the stuff to be a great fighter one day. So any loss or anything like that along the way, I already knew we'll get past that. And we just haven't put it all together yet. So that's me. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think it's hard for me to think, and that's the one that you brought it up. I agree. It's just that we got impatient, and not only that, it's just being in the promotional business, not being on the right side. It's a huge part in boxing, man. When that's one thing that I didn't. I've heard of it, but I didn't
anticipated.
I didn't believe it until we went through it. You know, like I didn't think that the A side and B side was really a big deal, and it really is. You know, so it was kind of something that opened my eyes, and you gotta be smart about the moves you take. You know.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. And if you talk to like anyone that's successful in like anything that they do, they look at their failures the same way. Like you said, they don't really look at them as failures. They look at them as like a learning lesson.
Absolutely.
How can we learn from this situation right
Definitely.
here? So we don't happen. It doesn't happen again.
That's right.
We can just be greater.
Yep. Without a doubt.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, you've been waiting for.
Oh. Can I talk now?
Let's hear about this.
Can I get excited now? Okay. Now, this is what we've been waiting to talk about. All right. October 19th. This is a day you don't want to miss. Trust me. The man is working hard. He's faster than ever. He's sharper than ever. The game plan has been laid down. The opponent is in place. He in trouble. That's all I'm gonna say. That he in trouble. He in trouble. We're gonna leave it at that. I ain't gonna go to. We ain't gonna let you peek in and see what's going on. But I'll tell you one thing. It's gonna be a lot of speed. It's gonna be a lot of excitement. And it's gonna be this hand raised at the end of the night. You can believe that. That's 100. You can believe that. We can believe that.
Yeah, man. No, man. We're just training so hard, man. I think we always as fighters we never want to lose, but this fight for sure, man. It's like one of those that there's no loss in my mind, and there won't be no such thing. God willing, we're gonna go out there and get this big win. We're gonna put out a great performance, and we're gonna steal the show, man. I think this is gonna open up doors for us. But as far as our opponent, some opponent from Modesto.
Tough guy. Tough guy.
He's
Not an easy guy, which is good. Which is good. We don't want a soft touch. We don't want to be disarmed by people saying, "Oh, this guy can't fight." This, that. No, the guy's tough. But we're tougher.
Exactly.
He's good, but we're better. There it is.
That's awesome, man. So I'm gonna. Besides that, first of all, I really wanted to ask this in the beginning as well. Towards more the beginning, how long did it take you to start to now? How long did it take you to go pro?
Good decade, 10 years.
Oh yeah, you're talking about like the whole amateurs and then we took a good 10 years in the amateurs, man, learning the basics, and you would say that we started somewhat at an older age, because when my first fight was at 17.
Yeah, we started training at 16.
And then at 17 you're considered already open like to an adult, so you fight anybody from 17 to 40?
30.
30?
Yeah, or no, 30 something,
30, something like that.
Basically, it's a lot older,
and so we had to learn like tough, man, about getting the first punches I got hit when were hard punches, not when you're a kid, it's just tap, tap, tap. No, I had to learn with some hard punches. But I won my first. I remember I fought a 6 foot tall Alpiche.
He kind of looked like you.
Yeah, no lie, man. Big, tall dude, man.
Long, and the first thing I looked at him and I said, "Oh God." I just, like I said, I'm a historian. I study this sport. And I said to myself, God, don't let him be a straight shot. Because I knew if he was, it would be harder. I still knew we were going to beat him. We were going to win. I don't care what he did. But I was saying, don't let him be a straight shot. And he put a little bit of arc on his punch, and we were able to see it. And Eddie was able to score a knockdown his first fight. And don't forget, and his first fight was in the Golden Gloves. Who fights their first fight in the Golden Gloves? Nobody.
No.
And he went and he knocked the guy down, dropped him, won the fight, qualified to go fight for the Golden Gloves in the next fight. But it was against a guy with a lot of experience, and me being like the old daddy type to this guy, I said, no, I don't want to put him in there. So we didn't go ahead. We didn't take the step forward and go ahead. So we ended up silvering instead of getting the gold, basically. But man, first fight in the gold, like I said, I knew it. I knew it wasn't a mirage. I knew what I seen in this young man, and I will say it today. He does things that only all-time great fighters do, and that's from the heart. I wouldn't, I leave it at that. That's what great fighters do.
Definitely.
So you had to learn with grown man punches, huh?
Man. My second fight I fought, I was only 17, 18. I fought a 28-year-old, didn't I?
Yeah, he was pretty up there. I think about that. Yeah.
I fought a couple of guys in their late 20s, and I was still a teen. So I had to learn everything with hard punches. But But you know, like I said, man, I've been through so much more in life that I said, man, this punch is not gonna keep me down, man. So I kept pushing, I kept grinding. I kept on getting up every day in the morning and running those miles. I'm like, I gotta get better. I gotta keep pushing. I'll hit the bag, I'll hit the extra rounds and be like, man, I remember how tired I felt. No, I'm gonna keep pushing. And so, you know, I kept working hard and you know, having my excellent coach that he kept on teaching me all the knocking down knowledge, and we started perfecting our style. And you know, we went for a long run, man, without losing. We fought all the top amateurs around here, man, and not around here, but even just in the U.S. and stuff, you know. So
fought them all.
we fought them,
and even the ones that we didn't get the wins over.
Yeah,
we walked away feeling like maybe we deserved to.
Yeah.
You know, and these were guys
ranked third in the U.S.
Yeah,
at one point.
One last thing, when you was in your 9th fight, we fought a guy that had over 100 and maybe 15 bouts. So much to the point that before the fight, the people laughed. They laughed. They go, "Who's he fighting? He gonna fight Matthew? You know, yada yada yada. This guy with the big record."
Yeah.
They laughed, and 3 rounds later, they wasn't laughing no more.
Yeah.
They wasn't laughing no more.
No.
You know, and man, it's just, we've been tried, man. What's that old saying? We've been tried in the fire, man.
Yeah,
when they tried to burn us up, all they did was just
made us better, man.
For sure,
that's all.
Well, you must love that. Like, do you get it all the time?
What's that like?
Just like people like, oh, look this guy, and then you end up just.
In the beginning, I think
they know now.
I've earned my respect now, and not know like mean bad dude, but it's more like they know that I have skills, that I'm not just any guy that's gonna come in and get beat up. Yeah. They know that when I mean, we get comments like saying like, hey, we want to get some good work so they can get prepared for a fight or something. Like, well, who else to go to? Eddie, you know, they go, let's go to Lemoore Boxing Club. They got the skills out there, and you know, it feels good to hear stuff like that, man.
Yeah.
We had sparring sessions with one of the world champ right now. It's Vasily Lomachenko, one of my favorite fighters. I don't know if it's best for coach, but
we're gonna leave that one alone.
We went out there. We went all the way to Oxnard out there and put in work with him. And
great fighter.
Yeah.
Regardless to whether he's my favorite or not, he's a great fighter, and that's just it.
Yeah,
he's a great fighter.
2-time Olympic gold medalist,
great fighter,
world champ right now, and I was out there and I did work with him, and I look pretty good, man. Unfortunately, we can't get no recording because they didn't allow it.
No cameras.
But man, it was great to be in there with the world champion, kind of test my skills with him, you know. And I feel like I did good. I think I passed the test.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, sir.
That was before I went professional too.
That's awesome.
I think, right?
Yeah, right before we were still amateur.
That's awesome. So I'm gonna give you guys the floor now. I will start with you. You can say whatever you want to add, whatever you want to say. You want to plug your Instagrams and social medias and stuff like that, you can go ahead and do that as well. It'll also be linked in the descriptions below wherever you're watching.
Absolutely.
So go ahead and add whatever you want to add.
Yeah, so just want to give a big thank you to everybody that continues to support me, and to everybody that's listening. Follow me at Eddie Sanchez on Instagram, Eddie Sanchez 1992, and on Facebook, Eddie Sanchez. I think you know, I'm really active in my social media. I let you guys into my life in a way, and to see the hard work that I put behind, so you guys can see that I'm not just a guy that just likes to talk and be like, this or that. Like, I put in the work, and I put in the sacrifice, and you guys will see all that. You guys go see my soft side with my family and my wife, and then you'll see my mean side, my aggressive side,
I like
the fighter side, you know, and you'll see, man. But yeah, follow me on Eddie Sanchez 1992 on Instagram. Also, and you guys can reach me there or through Dustin's social media. If you guys would like to go to my upcoming fight in October 19th.
Don't miss it.
You guys don't want to miss this fight, man.
Don't miss it.
We're training our butt off like never before. We always do this for every fight, but
we're even going harder.
Even harder, man. And that's the way it should be. Every fight we get to, it needs to be even better every single time, because it shows that we're showing improvement. But don't miss this fight. Contact me, contact Dustin or Jason Glaspie. If you need some tickets, the tickets are $45. Very cheap show, man, to see the Central Valley's top prospects and
top fighters.
You know, your one Eddie Sanchez right here is gonna be in that card, man. You don't want to miss this fight. It's gonna be a heck of a show, man, in Bakersfield, California. Don't miss it.
For sure.
Man, I done taught this guy too well. He done said everything that I was gonna say. I'm like lost for words, but I'll come up with something. See the champ. Come and see the champ. Like I said earlier, lots of speed, lots of flash. We learn from the greats. We're gonna display the things of great that night. October 19th, don't miss that fight. The champ is gonna be on the top of his game. We're sparring like crazy. He looks super sharp in sparring. We just ready. We ready. We ready to go out and satisfy. We ready to go entertain. What they say, are you entertained?
Yeah.
We here to entertain. We're gonna entertain. That's the show, October 19th. Don't miss it. It's money time.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching, and
thank you, Dustin.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Let us just be here.
Oh man, you guys are busy training. Yeah, I mean, you guys stopped training even to do this. We really appreciate that as well.
No, definitely, man. I think we say this all the time. It's part of our job in a way. You know, we have to. We gotta.
This is part of it.
We gotta give back to everybody. So it helps you guys, helps us.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you guys so much.
That's right.
All right, we're good.
Damn, that was awesome, man.
Dude, thank you so much for letting us do this.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Anytime.
No doubt, brother. No doubt. No doubt.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to that episode of the Community Proud podcast, episode number 9. We really had a great time recording that episode. That was, once again, Jason Glaspie and Eddie Sanchez. Their next fight is October 19th. We hope you're able to tune into that. And with me, as always, is Abraham Jacobs. Once again, we're trying out this intro and outro with 2 people, both of us. And we really hope you enjoy them. And if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But go ahead, Abe. What was your intake from that episode once again?
So, man, and we see this often with sports, but we don't see it as often with this intensity, such a love and passion for the sport, the studying, the knowledge that goes into it. It's not just physical, it's mental as well. And you see the physical and the mental preparation, everything we go through, everything they go through, everything that they've went through, their struggles, their beginnings to where they're at, and they're not at their top yet. Because with mindsets like that, you cannot stop climbing.
For sure. And they're grinding. I mean, like they said in the episode, they're just on a constant grind. And we just cannot wait to have them back someday and just hear more of their story. But with that, once again, thank you so much for tuning in. If you liked it, please like and subscribe, and please share. That is our way of marketing ourselves, is through you guys, and especially on Instagram. Watch when we get to 150 followers. We have a huge, big, ginormous announcement coming up when we get to 150 followers. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be pretty exciting. We're hoping it all goes well.
Yeah, so of course, as always, links, tickets, dates down in the description below. Go get a ticket. Go check out the fight. It's going to be a big one. No denying that. Go follow Eddie Sanchez. See what he's posting up on Instagram at Eddie Sanchez 1992. And follow us. Check us out. Leave a like. Follow us if you want to stay, at Community Proud Podcast. We got Dustin Allen at
DALLEN 2199
and myself _Abe.Jacobs.
And thank you so much for tuning in.
Have a wonderful day.